Hey everyone, Once Bitten here. So this is game one of the Memorial Mayhem team tournament. This is the first team tournament I've ever done. To be honest with you, I didn't really get much into the strategizing of things. I just said, give me whoever you need to give me and I'll just play the game. And but of the five other teams in the tournament, two of them have Daemon Legions lists with Scourges of Wrath. And those things do scare me. But the problem is they also scared other people on my team. And just the way it worked out, I got matched up against both of them to my 5 games. So this is game one, my Undying Dynasties versus Daemon Legions with Scourge of Wrath. We're playing the scenario where each of you pick 3 scoring units from the other team, and whoever kills the more scoring units gets the scenario objective. If you look on my units, you'll see some with tokens on the back of them. Those are the ones marked. My opponent only has 3 scoring units, so that one's easy. So starting on the right, he's got a blood cannon on the right, and then he has a Scourge of Wrath hiding behind those ruins. Not really hiding, but positioned behind those ruins. Got 8 Hellhounds, and he has a Harbinger of Wrath on a Crusher. Behind them, he's got some Furies, then he's got some Slaughterers, 30 of them. There's a whole bunch of them. And then he's got another Blood Cannon on the hill, and another bunch of Furies. He also has a unit of 5 ambushing Hellhounds. So in his list, the Scourge of Wrath scares me a lot, because for the most part, if he hits any of my units, he just kind of blows through them. And he's just so difficult to wound. My only hope is just to put some wounds on him really quickly through shooting and magic, and then get in combat, tie him up with multiple units, and just sneak some wounds through. It's the only hope I have against him. Other than that, these ambushing Hellhounds scare me a little bit because there's just I've just got a lot of fragile stuff in my backfield. I've decided as long as he's not going for my Hierophant, I'm just going to ignore him. And he can't really go for my Hierophant without giving me a chance to fly away to safety, so I think I'll be okay. Other than that, it's not that his units aren't scary, it's just that I feel like I have good counters to him. He's got 2 cannons, but unless he gets really lucky with them, I can usually heal up wounds on my big monsters, and so I'm not too worried about it. So, despite the games I've played with this list, I'm still very much getting used to deployment and movement. And in my mind already, I don't like my deployment here. The unit on the right, although it seems like a minor thing, I feel like they're really out of position. But my units are easy to tell. I've got Necroguard on the right, then some Skeleton Archers, Necroguard on the left. Behind him is a Battle Sphinx. Obviously more Skeleton Archers. That has my Hierophant in them. Here are my 2 caskets. I've got a catapult behind them, more Necroguard, another Battle Sphinx, 2 more units of skeletons on the far left, another unit of Necroguard who's partially in the fields, another unit of skeletons, and my fast cav. The fast cav are hanging out here so I can hopefully use them to redirect his ambushing units. I don't feel like I need them to redirect anything else in this game. Alright, so demons deployed first and went first. They move as you can see. And the reason I don't like my Necroguard on that hill is I really don't want his Scourge of Wrath charging the Necroguard. I want him to charge the skeletons. And I'm kind of out of position. I can't really get out of I can't get out of line of sight or anything. It's just kind of badly positioned there. Anyway, we go to shooting. He does 1 wound to my Battle Sphinx. Otherwise, everything else is kind of a fail. We go to Undying Dynasties turn 2. So let's see. Put a on the bottom right, the unit that was out of position. I just kind of shuffled them around so that if the Scourge of Wrath charges them and they hold, then I can countercharge him in the flank with 1 and actually possibly 2 units of Necroguard, but certainly 1. If he hits them and blows through them, then I can countercharge with Battle Sphinx, which isn't ideal, but it's something. I take the skeletons, march him up, just to redirect his Hellhounds with his Battle Standard Bearer. On the left, I keep my units back for the most part. I think I charged, look at the far left, my Necroguard at his Furies. I knew I needed a long roll. I didn't really care if I failed it or not. I failed it, that's fine. And then I pushed my Battle Sphinx on the left, the orange one up, because I just want to tie him up with those Slaughterers. I mean, Slaughterers wreck anything else on my list. So, and they don't really do a whole lot to my Battle Sphinx. So he's up there to engage them. Got Dance Macabre off and move these guys farther forward just to really box these guys in. During Magic Phase, cast Evocation and healed the wound off of my Battle Sphinx. I also was able to heal up. Well, I don't think I had any more wounds. Through shooting and magic, I killed off the Furies over on the left-hand side, so that's nice. And I landed a rock or two on his Scourge's head. I think one he ward saved, or I rolled a 1 to wound, but the other one, I do D3 wounds with plus clipped wings, I think. But anyway, I did 3 wounds to him. So that's huge. He's so hard to wound, but he only has 6 wounds. So now with him down to 3, he's tough, he's scary, but he's manageable. So I like how it's gone off. So we go to Daemon Legions turn 2. Yeah, so Scourge of Wrath charges my Necroguard there on the left, which actually works pretty well for me too. I think if he tried the other charges, he still probably could have got there, but he had a decent chance of failing it. The one he went at, he's actually pretty close to. If he kills him outright and overruns, I think he'll hit the other unit of Necroguard, and then I don't have a good countercharge, and that'd really suck. If my guys hold, then I can countercharge him with the unit of Necroguard, and possibly with a Battle Sphinx, although the Battle Sphinx could fail the charge. If you look at the top middle, or just the middle, he moves some Furies up to block my Battle Sphinx. That's totally fine with me. I'm just going to charge him and kill him and sit there, because I don't need to get in combat with him right away. And of course, his BSB and Hellhounds charge unit skeletons. He's going to blow through them. His Hellhounds come on. And at this point, I'm thinking, I'm just really kind of dumb. Not just sometimes, just a lot of times. And, I didn't really think much about making sure these guys couldn't come in just right behind me. So, kind of frustrated with myself there. After combat, yeah, he doesn't blow through them, which is nice. And that's huge. I did 1 wound to him. He doesn't blow through my unit. I consider that a win. I consider that a huge win. My skeletons obviously are gone. And we go to Undying Dynasties turn 2. Is it really only turn 2? So, I charge the flank of the Scourge with a full unit of Necroguard. I decide not to charge my my Battle Sphinx in there just because I want to. If I do and we don't kill him, then he can countercharge with his BSB, and then I might start really being in trouble. So I decided just to take the chance and use my Battle Sphinx to chaff up the BSB Hellhounds, make sure they can't get in to the other combat. My orange Battle Sphinx charges his Furies. They're going to die. In lower left-hand corner, take my archers, turn around to face the Hellhounds because I have a plan. So there's that charge. I love those guys on top of this model, but I swear, I'm predicting it now. Those spears are going to start snapping. They are so fragile. They just touch stuff all the time. Yeah, so there's that charge. Now, what I need to have happen here is I need a magic phase so I can get some buffs off. If I can get reroll to hit, reroll to wound, and more importantly, grow some models back in that front unit, that's huge. And with a couple augments and with Evocation, I've got a really good chance of adding some wounds, which makes a big difference. And we do. So that's nice. Actually kind of got the best of both worlds. I cast a buff on the unit on the left, or some kind of regrowth spell, and I got a buff augment on the unit on the right. So I don't even have to kill him right now necessarily. I mean, if I can poke a wound through and not get countercharged, I think I'm doing just fine here. Magic phase, I cast Dance Macabre on that casket and moved it. So now his Hellhounds have to charge my archers, and he can't even get them all in the fight. So that actually worked out really, really well. And I just saved that to the end. I think my opponent just wasn't considering that at all. And I was just casting other things. He was trying to stop it, blah, blah, blah. We got to the end. He had no dice left, and I moved the casket. So that's nice. That was just going to be a real hassle if he was blowing through the casket and stuff. After combat, we don't do any wounds to the Scourge, which was really, really frustrating. That was a lot of attacks and a buff and blah, blah, blah. We all hold. My concern is he might do enough next time to just kill everybody. So that scared me a little bit. Obviously, the Furies are dead there. And we go to Daemon Legions turn 3. Yeah, I don't know what's going on here. The Slaughters, I don't know if they tried to charge my Battle Sphinx or if he just hung out. I think he just hung out back there, not really anxious to get in that combat. The Hellhounds did charge my Skeletons, and I can't tell if his BSB unit charged my Sphinx or not. Maybe we'll see in just a second. So there's that charge. There's that. It looks like his BSB unit didn't charge me, but instead he just moved up to get out of line of sight of my Battle Sphinx. So I'm not sure what he was thinking there. I mean, I think that's a good matchup for me. I just don't see what the advantage to him is of waiting for me to charge him. Anyway, after combat here, we sneak a wound through on the Scourge, and really we don't take that many wounds in exchange for it. I consider this a huge win. Absolutely huge. I was really worried he was just going to blow through all of these guys. Not having hatred helps a lot because, you know, he just needs to roll 1s and 2s to hit and 1s to wound, and I don't need that many of them, and I need him not to roll real high in his Thunderstomp. And I got enough. So he's down to 1 wound remaining, and I'm up next with a magic phase. I can again regrow and stuff like that. Over here, his dogs go to town against my Skellies, and actually, you know, they killed enough that now I can get my Necroguard counter charge. I was worried that he wouldn't do enough wounds, and my Skeletons might be blocking my guys. All right, Undying Dynasties turn 3. Then bottom left, Necroguard charges Hellhounds. On the right-hand side, my Battle Sphinx charges his other unit of Hellhounds, this BSB, and top middle, my orange Battle Sphinx charges his Slaughters. I'm really liking my position at this point in the game. I like my matchups. This, I don't have to touch his BSB, so I'm not going to touch his BSB. I actually charged the flank of that unit with this Necroguard, and I was really excited about that. It gives me so much more combat res, and I think, you know, his BSB only has a certain number of attacks. I think he might get more attacks than he might get more wounds on me than I get on him between the BSB and my Necroguard. But if you throw in all the combat res I get, I think I win that. But regardless, I didn't need much and I failed it. This I'm in, so that's nice. On the first round of combat, I'm not going to throw my breath weapon because I'm pretty sure I'm going to win combat anyway. If he countercharges with that blood cannon on the hill, I might be in more desperate need of combat res under the next round of combat. So I'm going to hold back on my breath weapon. And we go to magic phase, and I get some wounds back. We go to the combat phase, and he can't quite get the final 2 wounds on the Necroguard unit on the right, and we peel off the final wound. That, my friends, is huge. That is not a good place to be if you were a Daemon Legions player. Over here, this was really kind of a whiff. He only did one wound to me, but between wounds, I mean, between 16 attacks and Thunderstomp, and maybe even the breath weapon, and crumble, I only did like 4 wounds to him. It was just horribly bad rolling. And my opponent, all game long on his instability tests, just rocked it. Rolled snake eyes, rolled a 3, rolled whatever he needed. I wasn't getting any love through instability rolls. Over here, he snuck a wound through on my Battle Sphinx. I did a bunch of wounds to him. Or I did some wounds to him, and we all stick around. Like I said, I'm not really worried about that. If he countercharges, he might just have so many attacks and some combat res that scares me a little bit. But for the most part, I like that setup. We go to Daemon Legions turn 4. He's got precious few things left on the table. If you look at the bottom left, last round of combat, he killed all but 1 skeleton. And I did no wounds to him. Necroguard totally failed against the Hellhounds, and so they crumbled some, which is not fantastic. So I don't love how things are going on my backfield. Anyway, 1 blood cannon charges my Battle Sphinx, and the other blood cannon is just sitting there. Now I made a huge mistake. Look at the bottom middle. I took my Hierophant out of a unit, and I think I did it just because I wanted to get 12 inches between a bunch of units and blah, blah, blah. I don't know why. I forgot he had another blood cannon. Top right, he's got a blood cannon that could probably move and see my general, my Hierophant. I think where it is now, it could be that my Sphinx is blocking line of sight, but I didn't even think about that. I'm like, oh my gosh, that's the second really, really stupid thing I did this game. Anyway, he's going to have a charge down a hill in the flank. So I'm really glad I saved that breath weapon. I need the breath weapon to pull things out for me here. or else between some maybe lucky 6s to wound and combat res, I may not be long for this world. After combat down here, yeah, I still, with 2 rounds of fighting, have done no wounds to his Hellhounds. Or 1 wound total. It's really, really frustrating. And this is his turn. So next turn I get a magic phase where I can grow some guys back. So let's hope that happens. Over here on the right, this is just a long slog. I thought my guy would be tearing through these things, but I do some wounds. I've got Thunderstomp, blah, 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 and I'm not getting any level instability, and they're just sticking around. Over here, can't complain a bit. He does a single wound. Look at all the slaughters missing. I threw all my attacks at the slaughters. I was killing them left and right. Threw the breath weapon, did the Thunderstomp, ended up winning combat, and then his blood cannon took 2 wounds through instability, and his other guys, even though I won by a ton, they rolled snake eyes. I think it didn't crumble much. But it looks like I've taken 2 wounds total. I think he snuck a wound through. I can't complain. He really wasn't rolling 6s to wound, which is really helpful. You never know what's going to happen, but for the most part, I'm pretty confident about my odds here. We go to my turn 4. I put my Hierophant back into a unit, so I wouldn't be quite as dumb as normal. And otherwise, I really don't have a whole lot to do. I'm trying to throw stuff around the dogs in case they burn through my my Necro Guard down there. But for the most part, what can you do? If you look at the battle with the BSB, well, let's look closer. Here's the big cluster F down in the backfield. Threw 2 units of Necro Guard into his unit. Now, the unit on the right, I was down to 2 units, and so I charged him in, and when it came time to grow, for some reason I decided not to put him 5 wide. I just did 4 wide and just went like that. I don't really remember why, because I don't think it really would have made a difference. Regardless, that's what I did. And after Magic, I look at all those Necro Guard I grew back. Oh, welcome back, guys. Welcome to the fray. Now I'm pretty confident we're going to stick around for a while, especially if I just start peeling off some wounds on these stupid things. After combat, that unit that was down to 2 and got regrown to 6, I think it was, now they're back down to 2. I had so much combat res, but I can't get past his instability rolls are just fantastic. So we're just going to we're just going to stick around here. And up top, he couldn't sneak any more runes through. I win combat, but his instability's fine. He takes no more wounds on his blood cannon. So next time, I'm going to just throw my attacks at the blood cannon and trust to Thunderstomp to take away his slaughters. Demon's turn 5. He really doesn't have any movement to do, except he's got a blood cannon sitting in the back there. He keeps on shooting at my casket, and he either doesn't hit, doesn't wound, or I roll a 5 upward. After combat, yeah, so we kill the blood cannon, but there's still 1 slaughter left, which is fine. And down here, 5 wounds. I went from doing no wounds at all to doing 5 wounds on these guys. Now we're cooking with oil. And over here, I can't pop the stupid BSB. This is so frustrating. So we kill the dogs. He kills the last of my Necro unit. I'm still going to win this. I'm not worried about it, but it's just like, pop. He refuses to pop. Undying Dynasties turn 5. Really not a whole lot to do. I can't do much about the blood cannon on the top right. And I think I've got the other combats wrapped up. I cast Evocation and regrow those guys. Put some wounds on there. After combat, he finally pops. We turn to face the blood cannon. This last guy finally dies. The one guy remaining, and he does a wound to my Battle Sphinx. Yeah. We go to my opponent's turn. He shoots the blood cannon at this guy. There's only 2 wounds left, and he kills him. And after that, we just called the game because it's already going to be max points for me, no matter. Well, there's just nothing else to do. I don't know if I played my turn or not. So anyway, game ended there. Yeah, that just a lot of things really worked well for me in that game, despite just some horrendous, stupid mistakes. But after this game, I felt like I'm finally learning a lot with this list. So I have a better idea now how to position things for the Bloodthirster. I mean, it's a simple thing that I already knew, but I'm not going to be stupid in the future about allowing ambushers right behind all my fragile stuff, especially when I have plenty of chaff units to tie them up. But anyway, so I got, yeah, 17-3 plus the 3 scenario points, so 20-0. Pretty happy with the result. Really, I was scared to face the Scourge of Wrath, so it built some confidence having taken him down. Anyway, that's it. Thank you so much for watching the video. I truly hope you enjoyed it. As you know, YouTube has a variety of functions you can use to interact with videos such as this. You can like or comment on the video, you can favorite it, you can share it, and of course you can subscribe to the channel. And I encourage you to do any or all of those things as a way of interacting between viewer and producer. As always, I appreciate your patronage on the channel and wish you all the best.